Welcome to Tunisia's Locks Beauty Tips and Potpourri, also known as the I Am Melanin Magic brand. You can get these t-shirts on the I Am Melanin Magic site. Today, I want to talk to you about how to know maybe when it's time to reevaluate your loctician. How can you know, or what are the signs that will begin to show up when you need to take a closer look at whose hands you have placed your hair care or your lock destiny in? I want to talk about some very common things. I want to talk about the top 5 things that I've learned in my 15 or 16 year journey with locks. During, I guess you could say, 13 and a half years or so, I always had a loctician. I rotated between 2 locticians who, for the most part, I was very satisfied with. So I was very fortunate. But also during my tenure here on this channel, which has been somewhere maybe like 7 or so years, I've learned a lot through some of your anecdotal shares, many of you women on the channel, your comments, my own personal experiences. Many of you have become close associates and friends of mine through this channel, and the most beautiful blessing. And so I've learned quite a bit, and I want to share that because no matter where you are on the journey, you may be evaluating getting Microlocks or Sisterlocks, or you might even have had them for some time and be waffling or not sure whether or not you still are in alignment with the individual who has been charged with taking care of your hair. And this is a super important consideration because to me, other than the choice of getting your locks in the first place, which will be the best decision that you have ever made, I will continue to say that. The next most important thing on this journey is ensuring that you have the right loctician. It's more important than price. It's more important than proximity and where that individual is located. It's more important than most of the things that we tend to focus on when it comes to our hair. When you have sister locks or micro locks or a different type of small lock or even traditional locks, the person that you choose to walk that journey with is one of the most important decisions that you're ever going to make. The interesting thing is, whether you realize it or not, if you've been on this journey as long as I have, the likelihood of having the same loctician for the duration of that journey is probably a little less than most people would like to admit going in. I have met women who've had 2, 3, 4, and sometimes even 5 different locticians, which is not something that always feels good either. So you want to make sure you choose consciously and you choose right, and you arm yourself with the most information going in, because long term you'll be grateful, because not having the right loctician doing your hair will be something that will undermine your journey. It will undermine the health of your hair, and it will literally undermine your confidence, and you'll get to a point where you're not sure what to really think or who to really trust. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the things that are very important. Welcome to our channel. I am Melanin Magic. If you want long locks,
luscious hair, radiant skin, want to look and feel good,
then I Am Melanin Magic is your brand.
I Am Melanin Magic,
and so are you. Important. First and foremost, you want a loctician that is aligned with your values. Each of us goes into this journey for a certain reason. We have certain concerns. We have things that we've thought about. We have other people's hair that we've seen. Usually we've done some research. You want to make sure that the person that you choose for your hair is someone that you feel aligned with. And that choice sometimes requires a level of balancing. It's a balancing act, because it's, how do I feel when I'm in this person's presence? Do I feel comfortable? Do I feel expanded? Do I feel like I can relax? Do I feel like I can share my concerns? You're balancing that with, when we talk about alignment, how do they feel about maybe using oil? What is their recommendation with regard to how often I need retightings? Is this an individual that's going to say, okay, I need you in here every 4 weeks for the first half a year, and then after that, every 6 weeks. And then if you don't come at 6 weeks and you come at 7 weeks, I'm going to charge you an additional $75 per hour or per rotation, whatever it is. You want to get a real good sense of not just how do you feel about the individual, but how do they answer your questions? Do they allay your concerns, or do they ramp up your fears and insecurities? Is this an individual that feels flexible? Do they feel inflexible? These are things that are very important. The second thing is, how comfortable are they with showing you how their other clients are faring, or how their other clients' heads look? Or are they comfortable with responding to a question such as, how many of your original clients are you still servicing? Those sorts of things. Are you able to ask them questions without them feeling protective or feeling as though you're interrogating them? Are they relaxed when they respond to you? Because when a person is responding to you as a business owner, it is very easy to get a quick read on, is this a person that is client centered? Are they customer centered? Or is this a person that has such a heavy customer load that they take for granted that they don't have time to answer your questions? Or not even do they not have time, but they're disinterested in your concerns, because the way they run their business is more like an assembly line. So it's next, 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 next. These are things that are very, very important. Something else you want to try to gauge, or you may already be gauging depending upon where you are in this journey, is the loctician really invested in the health of my hair, or am I just someone who is making a payment and I'm getting my treatment and or my installation, and when that's done, they don't think about me after that, or they don't think about my hair? This can come up in any number of ways, but some common ways are that you could sit in someone's chair every few weeks or every several weeks, and they may not actually tell you what is going on with your hair. They may not see you as a co-partner in terms of your level of investment in your hair. So they may not mention to you that they're seeing some concerns, or that your hair is seems to be thinning in a particular area, or that they're even marrying locks, or that they are considering, clipping your ends, or that you've even lost 2 or 3 locks during the retightening. So it's more of a autonomous, unilateral kind of an environment where you can sometimes feel left out of the loop. You want a loctician who sees the retightening session as an opportunity to commune about what's actually going on with your hair, beyond the fact that I don't think your hair is clean enough, or did you do A, B, and C that I asked you to do last time? What did you do differently to your hair? Oh my gosh, your hair unraveled. What on earth did you do? Like, you want a rapport that allows you to ascertain, is this person really taking into consideration what my thoughts are, or in terms of wanting to know what is going on with your hair. Because I will say this, I said it when I first started the channel, and I was really surprised at how many women were not doing this, but I will continue to say that you need to be an active participant in your own hair care story. And what that means is, you don't just go in and sit down in the chair and expect that the person who you are paying has your hair's interest the same way that you do. Okay, you have to know that you have your interest at heart to a greater degree in most cases than the person who's doing your hair, especially with a style like this that we end up investing so much time, energy, effort, and financial resources into. Usually by the time you get to the point to where you're ready to put 600 or 500 or however many, I think I have close to 6 almost now, then you are going to be someone who wants to know what's going on with your hair. If a lock is married, you want to know that that lock is married, okay? Number 4 is making sure that you have a loctician who's willing to shift and individualize what is needed for your hair, and is willing to communicate that to you. For example, she may notice specifically that Each time you come in and she does your retightening, you have an entire section of your hair, let's say right here where this swivel thing is, in the center of your head, where they got this sort of like centrifugal thing going on, that your hair just simply doesn't grow as fast, and you only need one rotation there. For example, this is just something random. Can she individualize? Can she say, well, you know what, um, I know I told you 6 weeks initially, but I feel like your hair can go 8 weeks. Your hair is looking good, it's thriving, and I really don't feel like you need to be in here that long. Can you say something to your loctician and expect her to take that under advisement? Okay. The last thing I want to share with you is using your intuition and helping you to ascertain whether or not the individual that you are working with, or the individual that you have invested in for your hair's journey, is someone that truly can ensure that you are in the best hands. Um, when they are doing your hair, are they discussing with you what is going on with your hair? Are they making you abreast of changes similar to what I said before? But also, are you able to pull out of them if they're not forthcoming with it? And many will be, but are you able to ask questions? Are they able to give you strategy? Are they able to give you suggestions if you have questions about certain things that are happening with your hair? Or are they that type of person that just wants to go through, fix it, and not communicate with you? I say that because the rapport, the verbal rapport, the emotional rapport that you share with the individual who you are charging and trusting to do your hair, it needs to be a very healthy level of communication. It needs to be a healthy relationship based on a healthy and balanced exchange of information and ideas. You come in and you say, for example, well, I'm noticing something going on with this section of my head. And I notice that this is the section that usually hurts when I leave, but also notice, I think I'm noticing that it's thinning a little bit. And so they look at it and they say, oh, okay. And you wonder why they haven't mentioned it, but they say, oh, okay, and that's fine. You all are on the same page, and they decide to go ahead and marry those locks. Well, you might would wonder, I know based on how my mind works, I would wonder, why wasn't that noticed before? And if it was noticed, why wasn't it brought to my attention? So the kind of communication is important. I encourage the people who book hair appraisals with me to be very active during these sessions. These should not be sessions where you go in with a book and you sit there the whole time. By the way, my red flags and toxic relationships journal, this should not be an opportunity to sit down and to check out, or to watch TikTok the whole time, or to be distracted in the way of conversation. It is a time where you are, it's like going to a PTA meeting, where you ask the questions that you have, you preemptively anticipate things that may be coming up. You ask for an update or status report based on what your hair looks like now and what it was looking like before. If you have concerns about products, if you have concerns about oils you're putting on your hair, if you have other concerns about what's happening with your locks, then it's a time to you ask questions and be given the feedback. It's also a time for them to discuss what is going on with your hair. Now, everybody's not a talker, and everybody is different. So I would encourage you to at least go in with one or two questions minimum that you will typically always ask your loctician, so that they get in the habit of knowing that you're that client that really wants to know what's going on with your hair. I also would encourage you to feel comfortable to have a little hand mirror if you need to, so that you can see kind of what's going on, and if you have specific questions. In the interest of communication, I would definitely ask you to be mindful of the kind of a rapport that you have if you're bringing up concerns or if you have questions, to make sure that your body language and your tone are such that uh, it implies that you are partnering with that individual, and you're not indicting, you're not accusing anyone of anything, but you simply just have questions. And you can do that through voice tone, you can do it through body language, you can do it through eye contact, you can use a little bit of humor. You can also be a client that is very low maintenance in the sense that you do what it is that your loctician has asked you to do in between the visits. If this person has asked you to make sure your hair is clean prior to coming in and make sure it's not tangled and matted, then you need to make sure you do that. If they've told you to do certain things in between visits and you're not doing those things, and you're not a high maintenance, you're not a low maintenance client. If you're not getting to your appointments on time, if you're not giving a heads up, if you need a schedule change or an appointment change, whatever that may be, then you're not going to be a low maintenance client. You'll be a high maintenance client, and you'll be a client that doesn't get the same level of priority as clients who tip well, let's be frank, clients who take care of their hair and do what it is that the loctician feels that they need to do, and clients that have a disposition that is a pleasant disposition. So I hope this video helps you to understand why it's so important to make sure that you engage your loctician as a partner, but by the same token, also make sure that they value you as a client, and they also understand that you're that client that wants to know what's going on with your hair, because this is in fact the most important relationship that you will have. You are with Tanisha Ali. Okay, you can get in touch with me by going to IamMelaninMagic.com if you're interested in my relationship coaching services as a certified personal and executive coach, educator, author, and healer. You can go to my Throne 69 website for those of you who are interested in taking the free 7-day detox of toxic relationships and trauma bonds, and you're interested in building consciously loving relationships, or you've been feeling relationally undernourished, or in some way you just know that there's something better out there for you, and you want to clear any toxic love templates or any templates that you may be running on subconsciously that are jeopardizing your ability to have healthier relationships, then you can also engage me by going to throne69.com. I hope that y'all have a beautiful, peaceful, productive, and wonderful day. I'll see you next time.